We are going to talk about capacity in airports in general. And the first thing we need to know is that in the air side, we cannot accumulate people like in the land side. In the land side we have some service levels, and if the terminal has a surface and it has 500 people, it will have a service level A. If it has 700, it will have a service level B. If 800, every time they will be tighter but they can fit. However, in the air side, if the capacity of a runway is number movements per hour, if more aircrafts arrive, what will happen is that they will have to wait until they can land. Well, there is an intimate relationship between the ratio demand, maximum capacity, and the delay. That is, as we get closer to the maximum capacity, the delay is going to grow a lot, so the quality is going to decrease. These four parameters are related, and how are they related? Well, we have this curve. This would be the curve of the delay time per flight. This is a curve obtained from the theory of queues, which is appropriate for this, and it is appropriate also for anything else which is modulated as a queue. Here we have the ratio of demand and total capacity. Obviously, if 25 aircrafts can land per hour and there are 28, they will accumulate and we are going to get delay, but if 25 can land and there are 24, we are going to be in this zone of the curve. So, as we go over approximately 80 to 85%, delays are going to increase a lot in an exponential way. It is going to increase a lot, so about 85 to 87% we will have delays that increase very quickly, and we also have the standard deviation of the delays. This implies that the standard deviation increase very quickly, so all is less predictable. As an aircraft will arrive with 4 minutes of delay, the next one could have 35 minutes of delay, etc. Which is worse for the airlines, because if they had always 20 minutes of delay, they could plan thinking on the delay, the fuel consumption, but that's all. Here we know that delays are also much more variable. This curve is why small improvements in the operative of the airplane of the airport, that allow us to gain 2 to 3% of capacity, a new taxiway, a change in the system of air control that allows to have less spaced airplanes, it makes us move, that a movement of a small percent here make us descend a lot in the average delay, and what's why they still continue doing it, even if it seems a high investment for a small change in the capacity, because it's better if we don't pass this zone. We are talking about very saturated airports. We have to talk also of two types of capacity, the maximum capacity and the declared capacity. The maximum capacity is the maximum that a system can endure no matter the delays or anything. That is, we suppose a system in which all the restrictions are respected, but every time that there is a lack of airplane, it lands. Every time that there is a lack of airplane, it lands. If in the air there are a lot of airplanes waiting, an hour, it doesn't matter. This would be the maximum capacity. The declared capacity has into account that the airplanes have to be attended with a certain grade of service that is reasonable. So, it will not be the maximum capacity. Usually a reasonable declared capacity is 85 to 90% the maximum capacity, because with the maximum capacity we are talking about intolerables delays. We have a summary. The capacity of an airport is the smaller of the capacities of the different parts. Usually the configuration of the airport is the one that influences the most in capacity, that is, the capacity of the runways or system of runways is what influences most the capacity, although it doesn't have to be always this way. If, for example, we have that in the apron we have a problem and it is not able to attend all the movements, or we don't have enough places to disembark, or the taxiways are badly placed and an airplane has to wait until other goes out to enter. The capacity can also be limited by the terminal, the apron, the taxiways, but usually it is limited by the runways. We have seen that when the demand is getting closer to the capacity, the delay increases a lot and that the savings decreasing delays compensate the cost of the improvements.